Good morning, everybody. We're in the middle of a crisis here in the United States as well as all over the world with what is called a virus. As we call on ourselves to separate, I would like to talk about something that a lot of people find interesting when they come to me for readings about their future. I sometimes tell them why they act as they act. With one lady at a party, I told her the reason her grandson acted the way he acted was he was a businessman in the past, and that he was obsessed with making deals. That is why, even while sitting in a high chair, if he didn't want to eat something, he didn't eat it. He didn't care. You weren't going to get him to eat it. He would make a deal, trade food for food. As she sat there, she thought about it, and he barged in the door of the room I was doing the readings in. And he came in and he said, "Hey, lady, tell them that I need macaroni and cheese now, that there's no deal for me to leave you alone until I get my macaroni and cheese." She burst into giggles, as well as I did. And I said, "Told you." That is why certain people that cannot stand collars that are above their neck or against their neck. Not all of them have been hung like witches. And please do not say to your friends, "Oh, the psychic told me I was hung like a witch," because I guarantee you that wasn't the only reason why you can't stand collars. I did a reading for a young lady who I love and adore. But her and her mother both lived in the century of Europe, where fashion was the ruffled collar that sat right here, almost like you were wearing what the nuns wore in their habits. And you were being choked, but you looked prim and proper, and you looked very elegant. So as I say, if you remember those memories, cell memories that you bring with you, part of your behavior in this lifetime can reflect what those memories were from the other lifetimes. I had a wonderful policeman come to me. I loved him so much. We were friends till the day he passed. But he brought me pictures that he couldn't figure out. He had lost his leg, and he would travel to the Civil War zones. And in one Civil War place, all of his 35 millimeter shots he took with his, not the digital cameras that we have nowadays, but the other cameras, would turn color. There would be puffs of what looked like smoke. There would be puffs of little smoke, then big smoke, then little smoke, then big smoke. And then grassy areas in a forest would turn pink. And he'd have the film redeveloped, and the film person said, "No, this is the way it looks. I thought there was something pink on the woods, or a pink light you were using." He had never asked for a past life reading. But when he got home from his last trip there, someone attacked him in his sleep, took his crutches, caused him to bleed, and put the blood all the way down the stairway. He immediately made an appointment with me. When I read for him, I told him what it was. He was a Union soldier. He didn't have a big role. All he did was do the bugling. But the colonel who lost that war from the South had rode in his car home. As we looked at the last pictures that he took when he came home, we could see distinct pictures of soldiers being loaded onto carts, onto big wagons. We could see the cannonballs sitting on the battlefields. He was followed home because that colonel could not accept that they lost that war. That colonel could not accept that they lost that battle. And because he was the first person there, trumping away, the colonel wanted to do him harm because that was his third visit down there. And he thought he was gloating instead of just trying to figure out why he was drawn there and why he wanted to clean up pain he felt there, and why he felt he couldn't walk when he had his legs before what happened to him as a police officer happened to him. And when we did the past life regression for him, we realized he had been hit and had lost his legs in the battle. So he did not come out unscathed. And in this lifetime, again, serving, he lost legs. Only one. We made peace with that officer, and he was never bothered again. But in the pictures that I've got that he sent me, that I made copies of, I went to the reenactment group here in Belleville, Illinois, and I did my speech for them. Then I did little tiny readings for each person in the group. And they had a half a page story on me. And I appreciate the story, but I wanted to let each of them know why it was important for them to go to the different battlefields they go. Why are they drawn to different battlefields? I went every time a friend was going to Italy. I said, please go to the church in Florence. Please look for my picture on the wall. I was a knight that served the Medici family. I know I was. I served 4 different popes. Other than serving John Paul, I served 4 popes. Please make sure you go there and take pictures. Nobody has taken pictures for me. When I went there on travel, I stood against my picture, Sir John Hawkwood. The people from the YMCA that I was with kind of looked at me kind of weird, and then they went, "You look like him." It's almost like you're being swallowed up into that picture. And then the strangest thing happened. I moved on to the other wall. And when I looked at the banker of the Medici family, the first banker in the world, I realized that a very important banker in my life, who I loved with all my heart, had been that banker of the Medici family. And that his great-granddaughter was Catherine Medici, reincarnated into this lifetime. So as I said, when you get a gut feeling, or you're watching a movie and you're engrossed in the movie, wow. And it's the end of the movie and your husband's poking you, or your son or your daughter's poking you, or you're the guy and your wife's poking you, and you can't remember what happened in the movie, chances are you went back to that lifetime. Being an Egyptian high priestess under Queen Hatshepsut saved my life. When I got cancer, having an Indian woman who said she was my mother-in-law from past life gave me a necklace to wear home from a psychic fair in Wichita. She said, now, daughter-in-law, all I want you to do all the way home from Wichita is think about what you did with Queen Hatshepsut. How did you cure cancer? What stones did you use besides azurite? By the time I got home, I knew I'd use azurite, malachite, lapis. And I knew we used something else when people used to throw up or when they used to lose their hair. But I couldn't figure it out. So in 2 months' time, 8 tumors inside of me turned to one small one and one over the top of my ovaries. My doctor pretty well was scared and pretty well impressed. So our past lives do play into this lifetime. I'm very much for women's rights. I'm very much for honor and truth and taking care of other people. That's the night. As I said, you go about your life by the different lifetimes that you have had. When I saw John Paul on TV and he said he needed to be healed, I knew I had served him before as a pope. I knew I had to be the soldier to heal him this lifetime. When he told a young lady that I would meet her and become her friend, it worked. And when he said I had healed him, he knew, even though I never met him in person when he was in St. Louis. He just knew I'd taken in his bronchitis. I'd allowed myself to get sick so he could get better. When I was over in Italy for my trip, the lady that gave me the tour of Vatican said to me, he talked to me last night. He wants you to know everywhere he stood. He wants you to know where he walked in the garden. And when we get to where he's buried underneath his altar, I'll leave you with time to talk to him because he really does love you for saving his life when he was in the States. I didn't question who she was talking about. She said, and we'll watch the changing of the guard because I know you used to be one of his guardsmen way back in the 11th century. She said, oh, by the way, I'm gifted like you are. And he does talk to me. So as I said, we have many wonderful things that we bring into this lifetime from other lifetimes. No, not everybody has had other lifetimes. But now that I've talked about this, you have to see how important it is that we allow ourselves those gifts to come out. When I have cancer patients, MS patients, people that come to me, I don't know what I can do with the stones I give them. I had a dog with Lyme disease. My dog was acting up and jumping and jumping and jumping and telling me to go get stones. I went to a class. I said, "Do you have a dog that was sick?" To a lady that was upset. She goes, "Oh, yes." I said, "Let me go home. Let me pray. Let me decide. Let me look. I'll bring you some stones." The stones worked. Will the Lyme disease stones work on people? I don't care. It doesn't cost anything for me to give away things that might work if we believe we can achieve anything. If I was, as I was told by a past life mother-in-law, a healer under Queen Hatshepsut, which I've got verification on because I did do a past life regression, and I can pick up that gift to use now, why not use it? For those of you who are stressed about money, if you were a businessman or a businesswoman before, your ability to survive will come out right now. Don't doubt it. Relax with it. And for those of you who want a past life reading or regression, go to Linda Humphries, LindaHumphies.com, and look at my website and look at all the different things I offer and contact me. My hours are 9 to 9 daily. And I know during the coronavirus, I won't be doing things in person, but we can talk over Skype. I just want you all to know that who we were in the past are gifts we can use now. All of the different things I have been, the knight, the Indian shaman woman, the high priestess, Mat, the goddess of the laws of the universe for the Egyptians. All of that comes through with what I do for my clients and how passionate I am that no one be abused or abuse themselves and that we all are treated equally. Remember, if you believe you can achieve anything, and I believe in you, God bless and take care.